MrBeast is actually fucking disgusting. What's good, guys? Cal here. So Dogpack404 has released yet another video exposing MrBeast for even more heinous shit. I seriously think this one is worse than the first video he released. Like, the stuff he's exposing MrBeast for is weird as fuck. Anyways, if you haven't seen my first video on the matter, I'll link it in the description. Alright, let's get started. So the video starts out with Dogpack interviewing Jake Weddle, a MrBeast employee that appeared both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. Apparently, he also appeared in a video where he was the only contestant. However, the video never aired since things went horribly wrong. But we'll get into all that in a second. Alright, let's see what Jake has to say.
I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said in my last video on the topic. Like, MrBeast is no longer an individual. He's a fucking corporation. And it's honestly sad to see where he's ending up. Like, I used to watch him back when he was uploading those super long videos of him saying Logan Paul or counting to 100,000 or whatever. And I really just stopped watching him ever since he started like appealing to kids and just switching up into this massive entity only focused on maximizing retention, views, and money. Shit's sad, man.
The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. Oh, that feels so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively.
Yeah, so apparently Jimmy would heavily support employees that had their faces up inside his ass, which I mean is never a good trait to be promoting. Like, I don't get why you would ever want an environment like that in the first place. The second you start rewarding people who agree with you and punish people who disagree with you, all that's gonna happen is you're gonna be surrounded by yes men, and there won't be any new ideas or improvement because everyone is just gonna be too scared to challenge you and speak their mind. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the best type of people you can surround yourself with are people that are at least slightly different than you. Sure, it's nice for them to have the same interests and shit like that, but I feel like so many people these days are just carbon copies of each other. I don't know. Anyways, Jake goes on to talk about how a lot of the videos were scripted, and then starts talking about how the people working for MrBeast got paid, and this is just sad. Take a look.
And that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. Yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up. And one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like, it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you know. You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat. But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece and he backed me up. I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day.
Damn, bro, that shit is so fucking tragic. It's crazy how you can get fired just like that for sticking up for yourself and demanding adequate compensation for the work that you're doing. Like, I get why Jake was fired. He pretty much said he quit unless he got a pay raise. But the other guy, like, come on, all he did was walk into the room with Jake and ask for equal pay between the two. I don't know, I just don't think it was really justified for him to get fired. But then Jake starts talking about a video he was in that never came out, and oh boy, is this shit crazy.
There was one video I was in, I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out, It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was like one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
Damn, bro. So yeah, the video he was in pretty much consisted of him being in solitary confinement for 100 days, and apparently the conditions were fucking terrible. Like you could see in the clip, the guy started tearing up. I mean, he must have gone through some serious trauma or some shit. And in case, you know, you're lacking common sense or something, doing shit where you're alone and like locked in a room for 100 days or whatever can have seriously negative effects on someone's mental health. And when the room's how Jake was describing it, god damn, that makes it so much worse.
Oh, at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, you know, today, and it's like the choice. I get there, and at first it's fine, and I mean they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, you know, which that's probably not good, you know, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual, like it looks good on camera, you know, it's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. I mean, it was in one of the studios. They had to like get like a separate like tank for, you know, septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub, if not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. You know, there's not like a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking like a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy, mildew, like, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. And it got to a point where like they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun, I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time.
Like, that sounds fucking terrible. I seriously don't get how people like MrBeast can't have the slightest ounce of human decency. Like, this shit is just sad to hear. The guy couldn't sleep because they wouldn't turn the lights off, since it would fuck up a single shot that was probably used for like 10 seconds of the video. Like, how is this shit even legal? And apparently it isn't.
I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
Bro, there's no fucking way. Like, you can't make this shit up. MrBeast has committed fucking war crimes. This shit is fucking insane. Lock this guy up immediately. Like, what is going on?
I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in, and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. And I'm running until 3 a.m. All right, I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, you know, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. But Jimmy had his like. He was sitting in the chair, turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just... I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, you know, your mental health's the most important thing. You know, I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S, he just stopped right before it got out.
Fuck, bro, I don't even know what to say here. MrBeast is a terrible fucking human being. I don't get why we can't have decent fucking people in this world. Like I said earlier, I used to be a fan of MrBeast. Like, I thought he was a decent guy who was trying to make the world a better place. You know, he'd give money to random people, entertain millions, and even set up a fucking philanthropy channel to give back to communities all around the world. Little did we know, all of that was a fucking scam. He never believed in any of it. The only reason he would do those things is to make him look better and make him more money. This shit sucks, man. But the video doesn't stop there. After the interview with Jake, Dogpack404 looks at an internal MrBeast document called How to Succeed at MrBeast. It's kind of like this cheat sheet for like tips and tricks on how to like move up the MrBeast ladder or whatever. And let me just say, this shit is fucking disgusting.
I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No Does Not Mean No. Already insane, because it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here.
Like, it's fucked that this is literally part of the MrBeast rulebook on how to succeed. Like, brother, just take no as an answer. Not everything has to go to your fucking master plan or whatever. And it seems like people working at MrBeast took this rule a little too far, because it turns out that someone hired at the MrBeast company was a known and registered sex offender.
Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that. And he's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
I'm actually speechless. I'm just gonna let you guys make up your own opinion on what you just saw, because there's really only one way to look at it. Like, I really just don't understand how this whole MrBeast situation just gets worse and worse and worse. It's honestly just so sad. How fucking hard is it to do the right thing? I don't get it. Anyways, all this being said, I don't think everyone working at the MrBeast company is a horrible person. During the interview, Jake even says a bunch of his friends and stuff work there, and at the end of the day, all the stuff they're doing is for a paycheck handed out by MrBeast himself. Like, it's his fault all this terrible shit is coming out, not only about him, but also the people he surrounds himself with. We shouldn't be blaming the other people working there, unless of course stuff comes out about them doing, you know, weird shit. But yeah, make sure you go watch Dogpack's full video. It's linked in the description. There's a bunch more things in there I thought were really interesting, but I didn't want this video to be too long. Jake Weddle, the person in the interview, also has a video with a bunch more stuff that I'll link in the description too. Check it out. Also really appreciate all the support I've been getting on my channel. It's so fucking cool to read your comments and interact with you guys, so thank you. As always, it's been me, Cal, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.